and welcome. Our guest today is Kristian Villarosa. Is an artist who has already done some stuff for us, but not yet published. It will be in a while. So welcome, Chris.
Hello.
And welcome to the
Glad to
Ratchet
be
Gang.
here.
Welcome to the what?
To the Ratchet Gang.
Oh, the Ratchet Gang. Yes.
Ratchet Gang.
So let's first talk about why we started talking. So the first thing you did for us was some illustrations for a game that is
Yeah.
still in preparation. That's
Yeah.
Ratchet Shambara. You did some samurai stuff and creatures. I think I can show it a little bit later. And but that's not the reason we are talking today, because that game is still with the editor. I haven't still started with the layout, so it will be I don't know when. And then you did some other stuff, and that's again for something that will be
Yeah.
in the limbo for a while.
I'm laughing because I know this makes Miguel a bit nervous. Well, not nervous, but it's like, oh, I have these projects that I don't know when they're gonna go out.
Yeah, that's not usual with us, but this time it happened. I know that I have to do a companion, a rules companion. That's the other thing, that you did some illustrations, and we'll do some more later. But it's kept quiet for now because there are more stuff to get ready.
Understood.
Okay, so let's go to the reason that we are here today, and that's the webcomic. So you are one of the two artists that are doing the webcomic.
Yeah.
So introduce yourself, and by the way, you should also introduce the other artist she's not present today.
Yeah. I'm Chris. I'm a freelance artist, and I work with Mitch. She's not here today because of family emergencies. And
So,
I've been doing this since 2016.
So you do it professionally? Is that your job, or
Just
just
freelance. Just freelance.
And your friend is also her name is Mitch, right?
Yeah, she's a vet. She's studying to be a vet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's pretty good with animals. But she also does.
She's doing so. Tell me to tell us
how you are working in the comics, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you doing, and what is she doing?
Because we don't understand anything about comics. That's why we were thinking, do we do the comics or not? And then Miguel was like, okay, so she's gonna do the art, but maybe Kristian can also help.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going back and forth with the art. I usually do the layout. I present it to her, and if she has suggestions, she does the changes. Then next, we'll do the line art. She has her share of the line art because most of the characters are her design. I mostly do the monsters and the weapons there. So we share the load. And flat colors, that's gonna be for me. And right now we're changing some colors for page 1, but no, emergency is what happened. So I'll just ask her plan, and I'll just make it happen on my end.
Okay, I'm looking for the first page.
You don't have it handy.
Yeah, that first page, it's still gonna be changed depending on Mitch's suggestion.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll show it in the version where we are now. Check that. Oh yeah, I have the wrong window. That's not this. Not this one. Okay. So, share screen. Yeah. Okay. So this is the latest version.
Yes.
Before. So what are you going to change here, by the way?
I think the lighting. We're gonna. I want Mitch's idea on the lighting. But otherwise, maybe I'll just desaturate the colors.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Okay, a little bit of background about this. So we are doing a webcomic, a Ratchet webcomic, and this will start, as you probably notice right now, because this is, if you are looking at the screen, you are seeing something that is cyberpunkish. This starts in Ratchet New Flash, our futuristic setting. That is a Moroccan city, but also a futuristic city. It has some elements of cyberpunk and biopunk and future noir and lots of stuff. I think that you have already given a look to that book, right, Kristian?
Yeah, I've been in and out of browsing the book.
There's a lot of pages there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps because most of the stuff that I also need to draw is on that book.
Yeah,
so it helps as a reference.
And so this will be the story for this will start in Avalidad, which is the city where Ratchet New Flash takes place, or mostly takes place, because the Ratchet New Flash is growing in terms of setting. So it started in Avalidad, but there are already other cities. But it starts there. It involves supernatural, obviously, as usual, and the Bjorn, which will be the connection to the other settings. So can you tell us a little bit about your ideas? Because I gave you some input, but I also gave you freedom to explore this.
So my plan is just to get started with the action. So for here, I'm just gonna do a little description of the situation, then little descriptions of the characters, and for page 2, it gets right to the shooting. Just straight up, they start shooting.
So we can give some more context here. So this is a mission. This team here.
It's a botched. I think I'm gonna make it a botched mission.
A botched mission, yeah. These
and
guys here,
they gotta get out.
For people who know New Flash, you may know at least one of the characters. The guy in the middle, I think, is Clayton Reed, right? Is the boss. The guy with the red hair is our friendly O'Malley.
We decided on picking him.
Yeah, he's the comic sidekick, I guess. This guy is a real character. Is one of our players came up with this one. Yeah, so it was in game.
Yeah, he grew in game.
He wasn't a part of the setting initially. And the other guy, I think, is Lars Brody, because he's blonde.
Yeah. I got a lot of questions on how. That's why I drew him like that for a while, because I don't know how to draw his cybernetics.
Yeah, I don't think they are supposed to be obvious, since this is mostly bio enhancements. In this case, there are also cybernetic enhancements, but most of them use biotech, and biotech is not supposed to be so obvious. So,
okay.
You sent me also, I think, a sketch of.
I sent the page 2.
Okay, let me go to
I
another
haven't
window.
looked at that one.
No, it was where it was sent somewhere around here. No.
The page 2?
What? I think it was somewhere.
Page 2 is among the pages. That one. That's page 2.
Okay. So this is an action scene.
Yeah. Get started with the action.
A door here where something will be coming from. It has the note Hellraiser stuff, and there's and there are some characters here. Obviously, here they are still a sketch, so they aren't recognizable, but they are the same characters, I guess.
Yeah, I made sure that the layout the characters are recognizable.
Yeah, here you can just recognize the beast.
There's an kicker can being thrown
at
the demon.
That's the O'Malley thing. That's the O'Malley thing we wanted to add.
So this will be the part that they botch, I guess.
Yeah. Oh no, they're already being chased. So I wanted to get right to the action. I wanted to get right to the looking for the portal.
So that's
Actually, just stumbling into the portal.
What is going to happen is they stumble into a portal and they'll eventually get to another dimension, another time, another period, which will be.
My plan was the plan is to have the draw the sigils, then it's attached to computers, and O'Malley has to hack it. Yeah, so that way he gets blamed again.
And then they end up somewhere else.
Yeah, once they end up somewhere else, he gets blamed again. So that's the plan.
Yeah, of course.
It's always his fault.
It's always his fault. That's right. Well, since we are here, we can also show some other stuff that you did, and it's unrelated to this thing. What we have here.
That one's a commission. They wanted different types of beholders, and then a lich was mentioned. So what I did was I drew the lich to be the same shape as a beholder.
Yeah, I like this.
I like it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's better than the usual beholder. There's some more.
It's both a lich. It's both a beholder. Yeah. You can use it either way.
Interesting spin on the beholder. What we have here, this is the part.
That was when they announced Ardlings, and they were very familiar. I love Kamen Rider. One of the bad guys there are lords. They're like angels, but they have animal heads and humanoid bodies. So I drew the same design. And in that show, there's no boar and elephant, so I drew those versions. Yeah, they always have these wings.
The third one.
And this one, I was supposed to play this character. It's a dwarf that summons Sephiroth style monsters. But the game didn't pull through.
Oh, this is a character of yours?
That one I just drew for the Morkborg Facebook. I just drew one. I just drew a slime. But
the dwarf was
it has the Morkborg colors, right?
Yellow.
Yeah.
The yellow.
I use more muted yellows because it brighter colors hurt my eyes. This one I want to do sort of caveman cannibals. And then they mutate. They get deformities. They mutate. And I when I do horror, I don't like to draw gore. So what I do is I draw implications of what would happen. So like here, they have these trinkets with chopped off arms and legs. So that implies that that's gonna happen. I like subtle horror.
Well, it's harder to draw, so right, because if you just put a lot of gore, it'll make it easier for you.
This one's a commission. The commissioner wanted a ghost mech and a sort of puppeteer ghost. So what I did was, for the puppeteer ghost, I just added more arms, and he wanted these color schemes, so I had to work around those. And this was supposed to be a Warforged. So at the center, you can see there's a face there. There's a little Warforged guy there.
In
the center,
the monster, here.
Yeah.
Now this is.
I like that one. Well, obviously, I was looking at.
This is my joke monster. I'm going to use him for 5th ed. Call him, Pepito.
Pepito.
Yeah, and I made an entire anatomy for him. Like his fingers. His fingers are little paws. Each finger is little paws. And his foot, it's not a foot. It's multiple little paws instead of a foot. So like an elephant foot. And the gun is part of his body. Like it grows on his body. This one I just like Rosetta. I just want to draw something similar.
This one you have already shown, and so this one is
Yeah, this one are for my world building stuff. That's my custom orcs. That's how I do orcs. I like extreme dimorphism. So what I do is only the goblins are female, then the rest are male. Then the goblins are really small, they're really weak, but they depend on it to make more orcs. And that's a sample of the stronger ones.
yeah,
Like the
there's
hobgoblins are
some
they're
notes.
less. Yeah, they're like space marines. The hobgoblins are the space marines.
So you are mostly a 5th edition player, right?
Not really.
I
Not
know.
really. I played the. In truth, I'm more of a White Wolf player.
A White Wolf player. Oh, okay. So let's
I
talk
played
about
a
that.
lot of mage and a werewolf.
So since we can go back to illustrations after
Yeah,
this, but I think we should talk about that because most people who watch us are obviously role players. Not most people, everybody.
Yeah, so we always use
everyone.
that. So how have you started playing role-playing games? What's the
Yeah.
game that you like the best? Let's start a bit of your talking about that.
I don't have a very good history with role-playing games, but I played a lot. Every time we play something like, we play something like Werewolf, the GMs would always cheat. And yeah, they always cheat. And sometimes we get a newbie GM, we get a newbie storyteller, and doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know what happens. There was one game where this was play by post. So we gotta wait for the storyteller to post what happens. So for like 20 plus exchanges. So that's like an entire week. We just keep falling on traps. That's it. That's his idea. We just keep falling on traps. It was frustrating.
Never played by post.
I played by email and by
Yeah, and right now
phone.
we do a lot of play by post.
So you started how many years ago in role playing?
2002. My first
2002.
role-playing game was Exalted.
Yeah, also White Wolf. Yeah,
It was
I never
terrible.
never
It
played that
was
one.
awful. We kept again. There was a lot of cheating.
But that one was. Did you start playing also by post or with
That one,
presential?
my first experience was we always meet up.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
always meet up with Play Magic, then we'll play Exalted. That was for like until 2004.
is it popular in the Philippines?
Oh no,
Not at all.
no, no. Here D&D Fifth Ed is kind of popular.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I was talking in general. If role playing games in general are popular there. I have no idea.
Just Fifth Ed.
Just if that. Oh, that's mostly
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah.
I guess only in the
But
US you find.
some people play Legend of the Five Rings and White Wolf stuff, but you gotta look for them.
Hmm. Yeah, White Wolf. Kind of it's not really popular anymore, at least not
No,
like
it's not. No, it's not.
yeah. But
It's
years ago, well, when you started, and even some years before, it was kind of popular, even
yeah,
outside the US.
yeah. Back then, when I first started White Wolf games, I was like, wow, I get to play a werewolf. There.
Yeah.
Then we started playing. No, I don't get to do werewolf stuff.
Most people that I've met that not really in the role-playing area, but like adjacent that also know role-playing, so in Portugal, or they are geeks that play the D&D, or they play the White Wolf games.
Yeah, here it's
Yeah.
mostly White Wolf. White Wolf games were popular before D&D,
Mhm.
because due to colleges. My
Mhm.
sister was in a more. My sister got into a more popular college, and they have a White Wolf group there. So they introduced me to those games. Then we bought the books. We played the game horribly, very horribly, very horribly. And I guess it's still fun because it's new. It's new to you. It's new
It's
to
hard
us.
being a good, and that's the good thing. It's hard being a good game master.
Oh,
People can,
it's
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 yeah,
impossible.
and you have the yeah, but you have the tendency sometimes I see with that you want these things to happen. It's like, oh, here are the players ruining my story. Some people say like
Yeah,
that. Well, it's not your story.
yeah.
It's the
We
player's story.
we ga- we gave up on story. That's why we transitioned from RPGs to more competitive games,
Mhm.
to tabletop games. Back then, I was bad at card games. I was bad at things like Warhammer. Then I got older. I got better. I got.
And the GM
I
can
was
cheat you.
yeah. I was top fouring now. Back then, I couldn't top four. Now I could. I can. I guess it just comes with being old. So I'm more inclined with more competitive games. Yeah.
Yeah, those are more
RPGs,
popular usually.
just something to relax for me.
Mhm.
And the connection to the arts, you started doing illustrations for yourself or something like that, your characters or whatever.
Um, early, I've been drawing a lot early, younger, but when I hit 30, I suddenly got better, and then it just keeps improving. I just kept improving and improving, and I got to where I am. I
Well,
think it's still going to improve.
you kept practicing, I guess. I also did some drawings when I was a teenager, but then I stopped practicing and then I never got better. So
Yeah,
it wasn't an age
it's
thing, I guess.
honestly, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit, and then um, there was a point where I was in the provinces, so I had nothing to do. I just draw. I just kept drawing, and then okay, I got better. This is happening. I'm getting better.
You see,
So I
Miguel, you
I I
should have
also teach art.
continued.
Yeah.
Not really. I don't know. I wouldn't have time to do that. And if I wanted now, right now, if I wanted to do illustrations, even if I had gotten better, I wouldn't have time for that. It's impossible to do
Mine, I
everything.
just turned it into my job.
Yeah, well, in that way, it's
Yeah.
different, right? It's different. But if a guy wants to do everything,
Yeah.
the layout, the writing, and the drawings, things would take much longer. It would be
Mhm.
almost impossible. Well, it could be done, but
The-
it would be
uh,
difficult.
for me, it takes longer because I have other responsibilities. So
Mhm.
I have to work on other commissions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, you're doing all of them, and
Yeah.
Yeah, but in this case, it doesn't you didn't take long for doing this. I've had
That was too. I my output that was pretty slow for me.
okay,
I could
well, but
literally do faster.
it was pretty fast from my experience. It was pretty fast.
Really?
Uh, yeah, it was. Well, this is
That's slow here.
the artists are slow usually.
well, some people are not. Just wondering if you're doing it full time because some people are doing this, but they have another job.
Yeah,
They're not
Yeah,
full time artists, and some people have a lot of commissions, and maybe they.
yeah.
well,
That's why what I do is I keep updates. I
Mhm.
always bother clients with updates, so they'll know that this is still happening. Your money is just keep the money. Pay me. This is still happening there.
I guess the probably when people are doing it for people that don't know, maybe they are faster. I guess. Last
Yeah.
week we had commissioned something from a guy that I don't know. I found him on Fiverr to do a cover for Wretched Man, and he was pretty fast. But he doesn't know me,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I paid me.
Fiverr is pretty fast.
Yeah, like usually people there you don't know them. You
Wait,
have a time, and if you don't get it
yeah.
finished,
Mhm.
you run the risk of people complaining about you. So I guess that you have to do it. on time at
Yeah.
least. I don't know. Are you there as well?
What?
I was asking if you use it as a freelancer, Fiverr.
I haven't.
Because
Yeah.
that's another thing we need to add, but we're gonna leave it for the end. If someone wants to commission art from you, how can they find you?
Just link. Just message me on either my email or just on Discord. Just send me. I'll give
Okay.
you my Discord later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
let's
give
do
Miguel my
that.
Discord.
I can put it on the description of the video so they can find you.
Yeah.
So you in spite of this is not being your only job, you're a freelancer, but you have time for taking commissions. Well, not
Yeah.
not always, but you still have time to do some commissions. This is not just something that you do occasionally. You do it
Yeah. This is like
frequently.
this is my bread and butter.
Okay.
This makes me live.
Yeah. Okay, so it's still about your journey in arts. What are your influences as a artist, as an artist?
It really depends on what I like to draw. If I'm into right now, I'm reading a manga called Dan the Dan. And so I want to draw aliens. I'll be I want to draw the aliens there. And sometimes I'll be reading a gambling manga. So I'll just use that. I'll just keep drawing gambling stuff and expressions. And sometimes I'm very into He-Man. So I'm very into Masters of the Universe. So I look into a lot of old fantasy art like Frank Frazetta, um, Carl Critchlow. Who was the guy who? Jeff Easley. There we go. There, Jeff Easley.
Mhm.
There. So I look into those artists.
Yeah.
I don't. I can't draw like them, but I like to take some elements.
Few people do, right? I'm a very big fan of Frazetta's work. It's pretty good
Yeah,
uh, especially in fantasy. It's kind of a unique
yeah.
style.
His personal works, he has a certain layout. He has a certain layout. If it's he has a very masculine layout. If
Mhm.
it's a strong man, he's always at the top or he's always at eye level. Then if he's going to put a woman on eye level, she's always with either monsters or an animal. That's usually his layout if it's not a commission.
Mhm.
That's what I noticed.
Yeah,
That's why his art really speaks to me. I like
it would
manly
be
stuff as well.
it would be interesting for men, wretched men.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That kind of.
that's why I want to draw. I want to draw everything in men RPG.
I
I
think we'll have
want
to
that.
do. I think we have to do a new edition. Well, we are going to do one, but this is an adaptation for
Maybe we
wretched
do
I
men.
can
a
throw in
special
some
one,
free art. I can
or
throw in some free
a
stuff.
comic or something like that about men.
Yeah, it could be. We could do that. We could do that maybe. Yeah.
That could be
I,
fun for a
I,
comic.
Yeah. Man comic. Yeah. I guess it. You could just well, there's a setting, but it's not really a very developed
Fleshed
setting.
out is just a place and
Yeah,
some
it's just
characters.
that's
Yeah.
the place. A few characters. The characters are basically the relevant ones, the major characters, not small stuff, not regular people, just the big ones. Okay, that's a plan. Plan. I wasn't planning for a second edition at the moment, but that's an interesting plan. Maybe a comic.
Because you're just doing Wretched Man, so you're not gonna do
Yeah,
any
that's
second edition.
not right now. Well, it could be it might happen as well eventually, but even if it doesn't, maybe a comic would work.
Yeah, and I do and for illustrations, I do have art that I give out for free and anyone can use. I do have those. So if you find
Mhm.
something you want, just ask me. Maybe just put that in. It's already done.
Yeah.
Do you also have some of those pages, DeviantArt and something like that?
Yeah, I have a deviant art.
Oh, then you can
You'll
also
see how
have
terrible
Miguel
my
the
art is
link.
to
Well,
be.
if you, yeah,
Yeah, that serves to showcase at least the stuff. Or,
I can link it later. I can link it
yeah,
later.
yeah. We can get you a bit of promotion. What's going to? I interrupt you. You were talking. You were saying that you were, because I was making fun of Miguel not getting better because he quit drawing. But you were saying that you also teach art.
Yeah, I used to teach art.
Mhm.
I teach, well, I teach anatomy, sketching. I also teach Photoshop. I also teach Photoshop. And sometimes, back then we had a gig. Every time there's an art club, we handle that. So once a month, if I'm not teaching, I'll be in a school. I'll be doing their art club stuff.
so do you
Nah,
for,
I don't know if I want to go back to teaching. And
do you
I
have
feel like I lost it. I lost the
Mhm.
touch.
for what, teaching or?
For teaching, I feel like I lost it. I feel like I can't teach properly anymore. Like I'm
Well,
so focused on improving my stuff.
Mhm.
I forgot how to teach.
Yeah. Well, we'll need to keep you with enough commission so you don't have to go back to teaching.
Yeah, well,
Please.
in the role playing space, I guess there's lots of people, but there's still space
I get a
for
lot
like.
of fifth
Mhm.
ed commissions actually.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not aware of those because we don't hang out
Yeah.
with that crowd. But I guess that there
That's
are lots of.
it's always weird stuff. It's always weird stuff. Because most of my clients are furries, so they homebrew
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's
I've
for
seen in Twitter a lot of people with drawings, and there's always There's always a fairy.
Furries are
so.
adorable people, but they're really into weird stuff. They're
But
adorable. They're sweet people.
are are those commissions for published stuff or just for their own games?
For their own games.
Mhm.
Okay.
Half of them are perverts. So,
Yeah, but I
so
think
you
that's
know what I'm going to. So you know
I'm
what I'm
very
drawing.
yeah, I'm very happy that, well, that gives people work, but I really think it's strange that they want a commission just to forget a character for a game that they are. When I see
Yeah,
that, it's like,
Takes a
but you're
lot.
paying, yeah, it's so good for you, but it's like, why?
yeah. It seems that lots of
Oh,
people
I
that are
know
on Twitter.
why.
That's
That's why they,
I know
yeah,
why.
I don't think I
yeah,
want to know,
because they can find online
but
something to use, right?
but that
That's
explains why they get so pissed off when the game master kills their character. They pay for to have that drawing. So they're always going to play that character in every
yeah,
game.
that's true. Yeah, they already paid and
Yeah, they already.
to invest
So what I
some.
Yes.
sometimes what I do is I draw the character like a template. So okay, if you make a new character, just switch this, just put in this layer. Okay, yeah, new character, yay! Oh, get your money's
and
worth.
and since that's the reason that's they can't use most of AI art generators won't do that unless
Oh,
they
they
use
can't.
stable. They can't do it in Stable Diffusion in their own computer, but that's not really that easy because
I've
usually
well, I've seen
the
pretty good
online.
AI porn.
Yes, but you have to do it in your own computer. The online generators won't do that. Some of them don't even do boobs, or sometimes they
Oh,
do, but only by
I'm just.
mistake because
I,
yeah they are heavily censored. Sex stuff, never mind. It won't happen. Even violence, it's difficult to get. Uh, Blood and all that. Even the words are censored. If you write
oh.
naked or
Mhm.
breasts or blood or something, they will not create anything. They will just
Ah,
yeah. So that's good news for the
Yes.
artists, I guess.
The perverts will keep you.
Violence,
Perverts will keep
yeah,
you on in business.
yeah.
they
That's
are. They are. Bless those people.
the censoring is good, I guess. Not for me, but for the creators. So do you have a concept for the rest of the story already? I'm talking about I went back to
I,
the comic now.
I just have a concept for the first part, for the wretched flesh part. I just get them to the portal, then I ask you
Yeah,
on which world is next.
what's going next? I th- well I I think it will be Ratchet Epoch, so it will be
Okay.
Paris in the late 19th century. So you can already put that in your mind.
Okay.
Very likely because there's a read for this. Ratchet New Flash. I wanted to start with that one because there were already characters, and I think that's a good way to start. That
Yeah, and
team,
it feels like a flagship book.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is kind of because it's it's my favorite
Yeah.
setting in a way.
It
It's
feels like a
probably
flagship book.
it's probably the most original, though nothing is original, but it's the most different from the common stuff in
Yeah.
role playing games. And the next one, Epoch, is our most sold game.
Really?
So yeah, I wasn't expecting that either.
I wasn't expecting it to.
Yeah,
I guess it's the charm of a different setting.
Mhm.
yeah,
This is an entirely new setting,
And
which
people
by
like it has that Cthulhu, Lovecraftian vibes, Call of Cthulhu, but most of the
oh,
things
that's what it's for.
are in Victorian. Not just, but you can use for that. But most of the games on are Victorian or taking place in England. So this is in Paris. So they
yeah.
can.
I think that
It's different.
the fact that it's in Paris and
They can use it as
slightly
Cthulhu, but
different.
in a different place.
Yeah, it's not really Lovecraftian. It's not a Lovecraftian game. It has some Lovecraftian inspiration. I told you about the. I don't know if you know the comics, the Adele Blanc-Sec comics.
I have not yet
Yeah, it's not
seen
really
those.
popular.
They were a little bit
Hmm.
popular here in
Yeah,
in
it's kind
Europe,
of it's
but
a bit old. This is from the 70s mostly, 70s, 80s.
Yeah, I've heard that comics in Europe are completely different.
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a whole
Hmm.
different world. Well, you certainly know something.
Asterix,
Yeah, those the more popular ones are kind of Asterix and
Lucky
Tintin,
Luke,
Lucky Luke,
Tintin.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Spirou, and a few more. But then these ones are the teenager stuff, and then there are some that are more like for young adults or adults. And in the 70s, they were very, very, very intense. There were lots of different stuff, and gradually, people started to buy more comics from the US and Japan.
and then manga.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
manga is really big.
yeah, that's what people read in Europe right now. It's not. But when I was a child or a teenager, what we mostly read, even though we already had comics from the US, we had the Marvel comics translated in Brazil, but most people were reading those Asterix or Tintin or other European comics because that was closer. And we were until the 70s heavily influenced by the French culture more than English. Not in my time. When I went to school, English was what we learned by default, but before uh, most people learned French and not English.
Oh,
Yeah, so we were very influenced by the French. That's why the French comics were popular here. Well, Adele Blanc-Sec as a movie, so you cannot, if you want to watch the movie, it might be an inspiration for this.
just type the title on chat so
Yeah,
I can
it
check it
gives.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's good to give a feel of that of epoch.
Yeah, that will help me a lot.
I think so. Yeah, that movie which should help, and there's another one that probably helps. We've seen it recently. It's not really a good movie, but
The
it's
Apaches.
the Apaches. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the
Well,
Apaches are
it looks good. It has a good
yeah. It has
aesthetic. The story just doesn't.
well, French movies usually have a good aesthetic. I think they are good at that. Sometimes the story sucks, but even the aesthetics are usually interesting. And in this case, I don't really like the story, but it's kind of enough. There's enough information about the time period, and it's specifically something that we focused on because Ratchet Epoch initially was going to be something to be published by Postmortem Studios, for which I wrote a few stuff before. And this was supposed to be a game for
Punk.
yeah, so not a game setting for a generic mechanics called Punk, which
Oh,
were supposed to be games which have the suffix punk, so cyberpunk, biopunk, etc., etc. Steampunk, whatever. In this case, it would be something that it doesn't exist actually, which would be nouveau punk because of Art Nouveau.
Nouveau.
So the late 19th century in France. But to be punk, I thought, well, to be truly punk, not like steampunk as the name punk in there, but it's not truly punk. People play usually high class characters, aristocrats and all that. So it's not actually punk. They are using the suffix, but it's not really. And I was thinking, okay, so let's do this like a cyberpunk game where you can play characters who are low class criminals, not really in polite society. And at that time in France, especially in Paris, there was a subculture, criminal subculture called, not called, it got named like that by the journalists of the time, the Apache gangs. It was a comparison with the savages in the US. You can call them savages now because that's offensive. But at the time, that's what. So
And they were punk,
yeah, so that's punk.
They were
Playing
street gangs.
criminals and prostitutes and all that. So it's that's why
And they dress weirdly and had tattoos.
Yeah, I think the visual of that, it's kind of it was simulated by popular culture. They used berets and sashes, or I'm not sure if that's the name. So they had some kind of they had tattoos, weird tattoos, and all that. It's an interesting story, and it's true. Even though the newspapers of the time were a little bit sensationalist, so they made it a little bit more than it actually was. It started in the 19th century. That sensationalism is not new, but yeah, it's an interesting, real, true story about gangs. Kind of like Gangs of New York, the movie. But instead of being there, it's in Paris.
It's in France.
Yeah, it's the same, more or less the same time. So it was kind of that atmosphere, just in Europe and not in the US. So basically, that's the explanation about Epoch. So that will be the next step in our webcomic.
Yeah, I feel like I should change the art style for that part.
Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could.
That can also be
I feel like I
interesting.
should
Yeah,
change
if
the
you're
art
gonna
style.
change, that could be interesting, right? Because we have a different style for different. More work for you. Yeah, but that's
that's the plan.
but that will be interesting. Yeah.
And I do want to help Mitch out. So
I will send you some information about that, the original, our inspiration. So since they are comics, you can. I don't know if it can inspire you in any way, but you can try.
It can. I need all the references I need.
Yeah, I think if you look at so the guy who did those Adele Blanc-Sec comics was called I think I'm not sure if he's still alive. Probably not. I'm not sure. Jacques Tardy, and he has an interesting style, and it's I like it. I like it.
Yes, send those to me.
Yeah. I will send you some. I think that they are available somewhere. Some.
I think we had. Yeah, we had it in PDF.
Yeah, even if I can't find anything like that, I have the book, so I could just take pictures.
Mitch has a bunch. For some reason, Mitch has a bunch of Euro Donald Duck comics. She's got a lot.
In
she
what
got
language?
really into Donald Duck recently.
In English?
She had to look for the translations. She has PDFs where it's still in Spanish, it's still in French.
I seem to remember that in Portugal we didn't. When I was a child, yet
we had them in Brazilian because they were translated in Brazil. Yes.
Yeah, but then apparently there was a lot.
Yeah, here we had tons. That was what I read the most when I was a kid. Was Donald Duck, Uncle Scrooge, and all that. I had tons of Disney comics.
There was Mickey Mouse,
yes,
Donald, that other duck that that I think is Donald's cousin. I can't remember his
Yes,
name.
the
There's
the luck.
also
There's a
uh,
goose, a lucky goose.
not the Lucky Goose. I think Peninha. What's
Peninha,
his name?
yes, but there's the other duck.
Is that
Yes,
duck? I
Peninha.
can't
I don't
remember
know
his
how
name.
it is in
I don't know.
Peninha. Yeah.
And there was what else? There were some books that were just a compilation of stuff.
Yeah. But the
Several
ducks were
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
always everything that related to the ducks were my favorite. I didn't like Mickey
Yeah,
Mouse. I like Donald Duck and Uncle
Yeah,
Scrooge. I really
Donald
like
Duck is
Uncle Scrooge
cooler.
stories. Yes, Mickey Mouse was always a bit
Yeah.
boring.
yeah. He was a hero and
Yeah.
perfect and everything is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there were lots of characters that are not really popular, but in comics they were. I think
Yeah. Mm.
and lots of ducks actually. Yeah, most were ducks.
But in my favorite ones, yes, you had the grandma and you had the
Mhm.
inventor that is, well, it's not a duck, but it's a bird. The professor.
Yeah, I know the
Professor.
inventor one.
Yes.
Yeah, he's also a bird. Yeah.
But you know what I really prefer is they have these big compilations that they had stories that were longer, that were bigger. And some, for example, I remember one that was adapted from Les Miserables, Les Mis. So The Miserables, like the story, there was adapted
Yeah.
to. There are some. That's what I remember the best because I think I read it a lot. But some you had those that were adaptations of
Mhm.
other stories.
Yeah, no, I remember that as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found the
classic
Frankenstein
stories.
Yeah.
one.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, what else? Do you have something else to talk about?
You can ask me more questions.
So what are you playing right now in role-playing games?
Oh no, no role playing right now.
In board games.
I play a lot of Alpha Strike BattleTech.
Mm.
So it's miniatures. I do like painting miniatures. I don't have time, but I make sure
That's
I play
something
it.
that's something I never tried. I tried
It's
a long time ago doing those kits, the airplanes and all that, and I was
yeah,
lousy at that. So I thought,
yeah.
well, I'm not going to start
I
even a
was
mini.
pretty last year.
Well, but
It,
you are an artist, so you can probably do it better than I.
yeah, I'm slowly learning. Slowly learning. My friends are better at it. Like they got featured. They're they're coming up on Google searches. Their work. It's pretty
Yeah, I
good.
think that it requires a lot of patience, right? It's
Mm,
very small stuff, and you have to be
yes, very tiny.
very precise with that, and that's not for me. I would just get annoyed by that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even
Me,
try.
I like the gaming part.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's different. But
yeah.
most people who play those minis games usually are into painting them as well, right?
Well,
It's part of the
um,
hobby.
we have a collection of
that's
miniatures,
debatable.
but we don't. Yeah, we have a collection, although we don't. It's a collection, right? The Mutant Chronicles collection. We have,
Yeah,
but we
I
never.
bought
It's
them
just
just
because
because I
they.
wanted. They are nice. I like the game, and so I bought some minis because yeah, that's it. But
But not to paint. Yeah, I want them painted and looking nice.
Yeah.
we are going to do some minis for our wretched characters. The well, not characters. The demon,
Monsters.
our monsters, our demon monsters. Uh, but I'm not going to paint them, obviously.
Send them to my guy.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do
Send
that.
me the file. Send me the files. We'll paint them.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've ordered the first one
Yeah.
because I obviously can't do that, so I had some start doing
We'll
them.
print them here. We'll paint them.
Okay,
Yeah. We're
you
pretty
can
big
show
on 3D
pictures.
printing here now.
Yeah, I never tried nothing of that. But even though it's probably more interesting to do that part of it than painting it, the printing of the minis might be.
Uh, it, it can kill you, literally. The resin can kill you.
Oh,
Yeah. You have to
But
do it on an open space because the resin is carcinogenic.
yeah, okay, so
yeah. I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah,
no, no.
I'm too clumsy.
I make we make other people do it.
You die, not me. Okay,
Yeah,
makes sense.
you die
Makes sense.
for my
I'm paying you
work.
to die. Yeah, go here. Take some money. Go and die. But
Yeah, yeah.
And
So we are starting with the demons, so eventually we might have some stuff to show.
do you already have a 3D artist for it?
The ones the well, we can find another one if you know people that do that. You can.
I know too many people.
Too many people. Okay, well that's nice.
I'll
Well,
give them a heads up.
we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, probably. So the plan is to do all those. You probably know the demons already.
Yeah.
The ones that you are going to draw for the comic. The not
I'm
just the
already drawing them.
yeah, you're already those apostles of pain and all those. So the ones
Yeah.
that are kind of unique to our setting. And I don't think anybody will buy them. Probably, I don't know. Maybe. Well, maybe
There's
someone will
gonna be a
buy.
market. Depends on the design. There's a market.
Yeah, depends
Yeah.
on the design, of course. They might not buy them for our games, but they
But
could buy them
they're
for something
kinky
Yeah,
and
else.
strange, so
Yeah,
yes.
naked demons might be
Naked
ridiculous.
female demons
Yeah,
myself.
why not? Even if they are not into Ratchet, they can use it for something else. They are always
yeah, they use it for other games.
yeah, that's it. Any
Yeah, we do
any
that.
I guess. Yeah, of course.
And I think some people are really into miniatures. People that use the
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
got
know that.
super into it at one time. I got way into it.
It's expensive as well, right? The miniatures.
Not anymore. Thanks to 3D printing, not
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. It used to be people who were into Warhammer usually.
Oh
That's
yeah,
them. They
the
spend
prices
fortunes
just
in that,
keeps going up.
and yeah, you have to have an army, so it's not just one thing. Is if you're talking about five minis to represent your characters in a D&D game, but those that you have
Yeah, you still
a
have
bunch of
terrain, you
characters.
still have the monsters.
Yeah, it's still well, and now you can even use just digital stuff
Yeah,
to represent
there's
that.
like a
So
digital tabletop now for that.
we never use
Mitch
that
plays a lot of Fifth Ed
in what's it called?
in
Roll
Roll
20.
20.
Roll
Yeah,
20.
Yeah,
she
Roll
plays
20.
a lot of Fifth Ed. She plays
We
more RPGs than me.
oh she does. Oh.
Yeah, well, mostly Fifth Ed. Mostly.
Yeah, well, but that's what most people play anyway. So
Yeah,
we
here in
tried
this
Roll 20,
country.
but I don't really like Roll 20. We mostly play online, even because we play with people that are not in Portugal. So
Yeah,
there's no other way to play with them except online.
yeah.
But Roll 20 has that problem that it was made for
It's
playing
just
with
online.
yeah, but there's that thing that you are playing that and the the audio and the video part is just a small thing, and it
Yeah,
focuses on the terrain and the characters and all that. And I think that this Zoom is a better way of
That's because we like
interacting.
the theater of the mind. So
Yeah, so
it's
we don't really need that visual aid. We need to be watching each other and seeing what you are saying and what we're talking about. So I think that
yeah.
Zoom is perfect for online playing if you are not really into the
Online play, I'm more of
visual.
a chat guy.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's people that play a lot on chat and that's
yeah,
just
because I
texting.
got hearing problems.
The text seems like it can work, but
We
it's a different thing.
we did it right. We played
Yeah,
a
we
couple
played
of years ago. We played at least one
yeah.
successfully a small campaign in Facebook by Facebook messages.
Oh, I remember. We did those. We did that.
Yeah, it works. If you
Yeah,
if you don't have opportunity to do anything else, it works. But
yeah,
it's a kind of a replacement to other stuff. There are people that and especially in the OSR that will only play presentially with other people in a room and all that. But I understand. I understand the
yeah.
reason behind it. It's different. It's a different thing. But if you have to play it online, well, Zoom I think is the best approach, or other stuff like Zoom.
Yeah, here we kind of prefer um person to person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
in
it's
a
the best,
venue.
the best
Yeah,
thing.
here. So because we drink. We drink. We drink.
You drink and play. Okay, that's
Yeah, that happens.
yeah. I think lots of people do
Well,
that.
we sometimes also do that online.
Well, it's yeah,
Yeah,
Not you,
you can
because the
drink
game
online.
master doesn't. Yeah, when
yeah,
you're
for
running,
game,
you don't like you don't like to drink.
and it's the game master also has to do more stuff, so it's difficult to be drinking or eating at the same time. The players can do that more easily. They
Yeah,
spend lots of time just looking at the screen. The game master has to be always looking at what people are doing and all that.
yeah. That's a hard part why we rarely run games.
I like being the game master, but it's really it's work. It's not just fun.
Yeah,
There's a bit of work in there. Sometimes it's of course if you are playing something that you really like, it's different. But for example, in this case, I turn the role playing games into work, and it doesn't feel like work in a bad way. I can spend hours working, and I don't feel like I'm really tired because it's at the same time it's a hobby, so it's not heavy work.
but what I don't like about game mastering is like if you got a plan, they don't go for it. Like I had a game, I wanted it to be set on a cruise ship. I even downloaded deck plans. I downloaded deck plans. I mapped it out. We never got there. We just
Yeah,
never got
that's the thing about being a game master.
You need to start with them
there.
already in the cruise ship.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
no,
There's also
this,
that
this was
option.
an ongoing. This was an ongoing campaign. I
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to go there, but it just sort of didn't fall through.
yeah. That's in the if you want to do something like that, you do a one shot. If you
Yeah,
want to introduce something in an ongoing game, it will be difficult because people sometimes don't
yeah,
do what you expect. You have to do the other thing.
yeah,
What do you want to do, and whatever it goes, I'll have to go. But
yeah,
if you have a strict plan and it, I want to do this like this, well, a one shot will work. That
Yeah.
you started already where you want to put them, and then things will work. Okay, so we are. This is just an hour, I think,
Yes.
more or less.
that's
Okay, so
already an
that's
hour.
probably nice. I think it's yeah. So let's wrap it up. Now again, Kristian is working in our webcomic, which doesn't have a name yet. Ratchet, I guess. It will be the Ratchet
That's up to
webcomic.
you.
Yeah, I left. I'm not sure
Adventures
if
in the
I'm.
Wretched Verse. I don't know. Faces of the Wretched Verse. It has to be something with Wretched
Yeah,
Verse there.
I'll have to get to give it a name. Anyway, it's the Ratchet webcomic. Um, there's another artist, Kristian's friend Mitch, but she's not here today.
Yeah,
We talked about
maybe next time.
maybe next time. Um, yeah, because this is going to be a plan that
Mhm.
will be released over the next month. I'm not sure really what will be the frequency. That's up to
I can do 2 pages a month.
yeah. So that will be something like
Yeah,
that, 1 or 2 pages a
Yeah,
month.
that'll be just so
And
we keep people can get a sense of the story.
yeah.
eventually, so these pages will be published on our blog, and eventually it will turn into a actual book and published in print
Once we have enough. Yeah.
once we have enough, and probably
I already formatted it for digest.
yeah. Okay, that's
And it
yeah. That's
I
our
left
usual size.
space for if you want a regular comic size. There's enough space.
hmm Yeah, and we might even add some other stories, not just that one. Eventually,
Yay.
we'll think about that. This is the first story. There may be some others. Okay, Kristian, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll put down there some kind of contact if you want to see what Kristian's work or
Or hire him.
hire him for doing some commissioned work. I recommend him. It has been very easy to work with him, and if you like his art, you can just check it out and commission it yourself. And bye for now.
Bye bye.